welcome back. Game Over Cancer Day 2. And while we were on our little break, we actually got 2 new donations. So I'm going to read them out real quick before the run starts. From Cancer, we had $15 saying, only day 2 and you guys have already raised $300? Can we break 1K this year? Here's $15 to upgrade Shredder's Revenge to Gnarly Blood Trail. And then we also got a $1 from Broken Dylan saying, good luck, Carter. I bonk you from afar with the good luck leak. All right, and speaking of Carter, we have Carter Free coming up with Metroid Dread Unrestricted any %, so I'm going to pass it on over, and let's take it away.
Hello everybody, I'm Carter Freak. We're going to be doing some Metroid Dread today. This category has had a couple of changes over the past couple of weeks, so we're going to have some interesting things happen here. I have my commentator Satorha, who's going to be helping explain some things as I'm doing the run, so go ahead and introduce yourself, Satorha.
Hi, just like you said, my name is Sat. I am a fellow speedrunner. I'm a lot newer than Carter and peers just as like them, but I will try my best. There's a lot of moving parts in this run, especially much later, so I'm gonna try my very best to explain as much as we can. So whenever Carter feels like they're ready,
I think I'm ready. So I'm gonna give you guys a countdown from 3. So 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so much of the early game is actually pretty similar to other unrestricted routes or any % routes that you might have seen over the course of the last multiple months. Many of the changes that the route has seen in the last maybe a month and a half affects everything past the mid game, and I will try as best I can to explain everything that's happening when we get there. But Artaria is the first zone of the game, pretty standard stuff. Right away, within the maybe first minute and a half, we're gonna encounter a glitch called the Pseudo Wave. It basically acts as a stand-in for one of the late game upgrades you might be getting, which is the Wave Beam. And essentially what's happening is, in some actions, Samus's hitbox alignment is a little wonky. And on the first 2 that we'll use when we get to the top of the big climb room that is coming in 2 rooms, Carter is going to slide and then jump into a ceiling. What happens is that Samus's hitbox is misaligned just for a little bit, and we use that to essentially shove her cannon into terrain. So any shot that's fired during that small time period will travel through the terrain and hit whatever's on the other side. What we use that for right now, actually, is to do a trick called Elaine Skip. And Elaine is the community name for a broken Emmy that we just completely skipped. And then we have another pseudo. This one's extremely tough. The angle is super precise. And we use this to enter the upper part of this Artaria area. And we'll go straight into the right and accomplish what we call early cloak. And the boss that's guarding the Phantom Cloak upgrade is Corpius, everyone's favorite dog, except Carter. That's actually everyone's favorite dog. But this boss is really challenging for a lot of reasons. One reason is that the head, which is the only part of the body that takes damage, can only be hit by missiles, and you have a finite amount of missiles. So Carter's gonna try their very best to make sure that they hit as many as possible in all phases of the boss fight. It is possible, in theory, to skip phase 3, which is what they're on right now, by hitting 26 out of 30 missiles on phase 2. But if you miss even 5, you can no longer do that. And it's honestly not even a big worry. It's only 6 seconds of loss, I believe.
Yeah, if you're
That's
really
a really good fight.
If you're really lucky, you can get headlock too, where if the boss is doing a spit attack, in the second phase, their head will lock in place.
Yeah. And you don't even have to worry about the aiming part because you know exactly where the head will be the entire time. So one of the slower parts of this game happens a lot is atoms. So every time you encounter an atom traditionally, you have to stop and get your next instructions from him. This is actually one of 4 atoms we'll be seeing, as opposed to one of 9 trillion, because of a trick that we'll do in the next zone, Cataris, called Atom Save Skip. So keep an eye out for that. It's honestly one of the most powerful tricks in the speedrun in terms of raw time save. So we're entering the first Emmy zone here. What you might notice is that there is 0 sign of the emmy, which is the big bad of these zones. And the reason why this is happening is because in this route, if you accomplish early cloak and you proceed to the emmy zones, you never actually spawn the emmy in. And strictly because of that, it makes a lot of this movement super stressless. And you don't even have to worry about the dread part of Metroid Dread. Not yet, anyway. Here we have a trick called the water slope skip. Oh wow, first try. Well done. Jeez. That's a really precise trick, and you have to accomplish a lot of specific inputs while you're jumping towards, and also when you jump off the slope. That way you can skip having to slide down the slope maze and shoot a blob that's way far down. Here we have the water platform skip by using certain animations to keep yourself afloat in the air just for a little bit. You can just go up there to the right as opposed to going to the left and lowering the water so you can get down to this area. And we have our first true major upgrade that we use pretty much all the time for certain things, the charge beam. Slight spoiler, this might be one of 3 beams we get. So there's like 7, I think? We get less than half. Pretty standard stuff going here. The next place we want to go is to the final upgrade of Artaria, the spider magnet. On the way there, I think Carter will pick up a safety tank. Yep. This is one of 3 tanks I think they'll pick up. And it makes a lot of things, especially one encounter in the later parts of the game. It makes it much more bearable. Rehashing the climb here. This is the last time we'll see the climb, I think.
Hey, can I just jump in for a second?
Yeah.
We actually got $40 from Tinkdora. And they said, I'm throwing $40 at tap dancing because Omega and I are out of catnip to throw at Cousin Catnip. So let's see if Chad got more catnip to throw. We got more incentives. Let's try and get them all right now, today, right this second. All right, thank you. Throw back.
Huge donation. That's respect right there. You guys are doing great for this cause. Yep. All right. Heading down to the first thermal switch in Artaria. This unlocks the path leading towards the spider magnet upgrade that I was talking about. And yeah, not really much to say actually. Carter's doing a phenomenal job just moving through all these rooms at really good speeds. So Dread has this slight issue where there's a lot of stops so you can look at cutscenes, but it's also a really good break point since a lot of the movement can be super tough. We're just gonna move all the way through to the second Atom of the game, which is just Atom. Well, no, this is Atom 3. My bad. I can't count. This is Atom 3. And then we'll never see Atom again for the rest of Artaria. And then only one more time going into Cataris. So now in this Emmy zone, the Emmy is not here. However, in order to actually reach Spider Magnet, we have to respawn the Emmy. That way we don't fight a boss fight that doesn't exist. So first try again. So what Carter did there is called Magus Skip. It allows us to get up and over that pillar so we can re-enter the door that spawns the Emmy. And it saves a lot of sidetracking we'd have to do to accomplish that otherwise. Now we're heading into the central unit boss fight for the white Emmy. For those who aren't aware, every Emmy has a associated central unit, and we're only going to be seeing 3 of these. So I suppose there are only 7 real bosses to fight, as opposed to the 30 that usually happens.
Let's see if I can get this Emmy kill.
Yeah, give Carter a little bit of focus here.
That should be fine.
It should be fine. At worst, you'll have to slide under, I think.
Oh, I'm sliding under regardless. I'm not doing... No way I'm doing that in a marathon.
So that Emmy kill is extremely difficult if you ever stutter on any point moving up to the top platform, and also if you don't plant yourself perfectly so you can start shooting as soon as possible. The kill that Carter did there is not doable. Not even close. So big congrats to Carter for hitting the Emmy plant kill, even if it's the slide under variation, because honestly, this kill has a lot of victims in speedruns for sure. Artaria is famous for being pretty much 90% of all the runs that ever start. It's a very difficult zone to do. So now that we've gotten the spider magnet, we're going to be leaving and never turning back until maybe half an hour in, and that's where the real magic begins. So hope you guys are excited for that. The way we navigate Artaria later is a lot. It's a lot jam-packed in this one area. One of the final tricks that Carter will be doing is called the Cataris elevator deboost, and in order to accomplish that, we have to be very mindful of some positions in the final room of the flies, the white flies, and we manipulate them such that we don't have to take a ceiling rail that Carter will pass right now. So I'll give them some time. Oh, this looks really good.
Oh, come on, come on. Oh, come on. Okay,
Nice, good recovery. Nice. So, as you can see, if anything goes wrong with the flies, there has to be a lot of quick reactions to try to get back up. But the fact that Carter even managed to recover from that is a huge, huge congrats.
Yeah, even with the mistakes there, it's still faster to do that than to take the magnet across.
Yep. Going back, if you have to go back to get the rail, the community likes to call it the rail of shame. So thankfully Carter didn't need to take the rail of shame.
The only category it's not the rail of shame is when you're doing dread mode, where it's a one hit, so you can't do the ply deboost.
Deboosts are explicitly forbidden in dread mode, which makes me a little bit sad. It's completely fine. That's a challenge in and of itself. So we're entering the second part of early game here. We have Cataris. This zone is incredibly difficult to do, just like Artaria, but for a specific different reason. Most of the in-between movement is kind of okay, and then there's the Adam save skip, which we'll try to explain when we get there.
Yeah.
If you like Adam in this game, wave goodbye. This is the last time we'll be seeing Adam.
Bye, Adam.
Thankfully, in my opinion. Bye-bye, Adam. Not much else to say here. A lot of Cataris movement up until Adam skip, and then slightly after is pretty dead. So if there's any donations or anything, pretty much for 75% of Cataris, it's a good time.
All right, well, at this current moment, we haven't received a new donation, but we are getting very close to reaching our, what, $500 goal. It's kind of cool how much money we've already raised so much on day 2. We still have some more runs, like the more RPG run that we raised both incentives for. We're actually doing so good right now. We're looking at day 5 incentives we're trying to raise. So if you want to get Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 to all missions, that's $100 if you're feeling generous. And don't forget, you can win a Steam key I believe if you give over $5. So there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of reasons. But yeah, I look forward to reading more stuff as they come on in.
So during that time, there was a slight tense moment that I almost forgot about, and it's the single hell run that we do for a long time going forward, the Cataris hell run. It saves around 2 or 3 seconds in order to traverse, and this is one of the main reasons why picking up the Artaria energy tank that Carter did is a safety strat, because any movement done wrong in that room can result in not being able to progress. Since the last checkpoint, I think, is the thermal switch that you popped way back when. So it would be another minute of moving. So thankfully Carter was able to clutch it out. Although, not really, because Carter did a phenomenal job in that hell run.
There's a cool strat you can do for that button there, where you can actually shoot it in the heated room directly below. Saves a bit of time. I wish I was more consistent at it, because I would love to show that one off in a marathon, but
honestly, that pseudo is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
So.
It's just not worth really the risk.
Mm-hmm. There are not many runners at all who decide to even attempt it. It's far more difficult than the other trick coming up, in my opinion. All right, so Carter is on the second switch of Cataris, and we're about to enter Adam's save skip. Just to give a quick explanation, we're going to be sequence breaking Cataris to save 1 minute and 10 seconds, but it has the side effect of skipping an Adam that's on the way on the intended path. So I'll give Carter just a little bit. Get this out.
Second try.
Nice. Second try is really good. So that's a lot more difficult than it looks. I believe the melee that we use to ride the slope down is there's like 2 frames that work, and depending on what frames you hit, the resulting B presses to get the third to last wall jump or the second to last wall jump is super precise. So, oh, sorry, it happens to all of us. In this game, Adam works on like a bus stop type system. Gee, I wonder where I've heard that analogy before.
Imagine a bus.
Yeah, imagine a bus. Adam is the bus in this situation, and the Adam stations are bus stops. If you skip Adam, he never drives forward to the next stop. So for the remainder of the run, Adam will remain at that one bus stop that we decided to skip. And overall, in slightly longer categories that visit more Adam save stations, it skips around 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes of gameplay. And this one, it saves a little bit less, but no big deal.
I mess up actually,
Oh, no.
so we're just gonna wait until the Emmy is out of my way.
Nice.
That's a little bit bad, but whatever, it's okay.
Honestly, it's karmic retribution. You hit Adam skip in 2 tries. The game had to slow you down somehow, man.
Yeah, I accidentally grabbed that ledge on the way down. That's what caused that.
All right, not much else to say for the rest of Cataris. We're gonna use a specific strat here.
I already messed it up too.
Oh no.
What was that? I don't know why I jumped up there. That's not how you do that.
Yeah, there we go. Doing that as quickly as you can means that the ceiling enemy that bothered Carter on their way into the up across the breakable blocks, we can just completely ignore it. So this is the second E-Tank. This is the easiest E-Tank to get. I'm pretty sure nobody, like, there are people in routes that want to skip that E-Tank, they just won't by accident because it's so free. And that's the second E-Tank that Carter will get. And out of 3, I think?
That's the last one I get.
The 3, right? Oh, this is the last one you get?
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary. All good though. Makes sense. Now we're leaving. We're about to approach a really long load zone. Pretty much every transport, every teleporter, every elevator we take is accompanied by an extremely long load zone. So,
Hey, guess what? I got you covered this time.
Awesome.
I know you were hinting. I got you. On Leary gave us $5 saying, "Good luck, doggo."
Thank you, Unleary.
Yes. Hey, if people want to start a $5 train, this is literally on the train with Metroid. I don't see a better time.
This is one of the best times to just take a drink when you're speedrunning. It's one of the best times just to relax, stretch your fingers, stand up,
Read chat.
do pretty much any, read chat at any point. Because when the game starts to move again, there's not much time to do pretty much anything. So props to Mercury's team. You guys gave us a great place to just sit and relax. So much like the water slope skip in Artaria, Carter does another slope jump with the Phantom Cloak. That way they don't have to walk or climb across the entire matting on the ceiling. We're trying our best to avoid getting hit by the buzzsaw enemies. I call them Sonics because they're blue and they're fast and they're spiky. They do a full E-Tank's worth of damage if they hit you, which is incredibly dangerous. But thankfully, Carter was managed to dodge all of them. Now we're hitting our first of 2 dark rooms. We turn on the power here just so we can access the next major upgrade out of the very few that we pick up on the run. Speaking of, if any of you haven't caught up too much on the recent routing, there's a lot of majors that you might remember that we get that we no longer get. So keep an eye out for your favorite upgrades that we don't get anymore. I'm very sorry about that. We do anything in the name of speed. Got wide beam here. Much like the Spacer Beam from Super Metroid, just triples our shots. Does a lot of extra damage, and unfortunately, this is the height of our damage when it comes to the beam.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think there's any other beams in the game, are there?
Yeah, I mean, there's grapple beam, but that almost doesn't count. Unless you want to grapple beam all the bosses. You want to do that?
What bosses? I thought we already beat the final boss.
True. I mean, maybe. Who knows? It's a mystery. Gonna try our best not to spoil that, but these wide beam blocks that Carter is pushing with the charge beam, deceivingly precise. because you have to make sure that you are facing solidly forward, and the beams cannot be wavering at all, because if one of them misses, you have to try again. And in certain spots, it can be incredibly annoying, since otherwise you would be moving completely free and kind of in a flow state. So
Yeah, there's some really silly things with those blocks where like you can be like a couple of pixels off on your wide beam shot and it won't connect because all three need to light up. It's pretty silly. Especially like this one that's coming up, this last wide beam block that we're gonna shoot. This one, if you like try and shoot when you're falling down, Samus has this like animation where she kind of like recoils with her knees, and if you shoot when she's in the middle of that animation, the shots won't connect.
it's a very big worry for a lot of us because it's incredibly annoying. So hopefully it doesn't mess us up here.
I just ran the damn door.
Yeah, for sure. Having to do it again is another charge of shame.
So do you want to talk about the dumb thing I'm going to do here in a second?
Oh yeah, so we're entering the second Emmy kill of the game, the green Emmy kill. Traditionally, it's not the most difficult, but there is a strat that saves... It loses like 2 seconds on this split and saves 3 seconds on the next or so. And this trick is coined by another runner in the scene who made it popular. This trick is called Professor Stupid.
All right,
You'll see why it's so stupid. Good luck.
Here we go.
Nice. Oh no. Yeah, the faceplates on the Emmy can be incredibly deceiving. Now, if Carter connected the full thing, I would be celebrating already. Because that kill is exactly as scary as it looks. Any misstep and you'll fall into the Emmy. And at the very end, when Carter switched from the Omega Stream to the Omega Cannon to destroy the eye, you can see how easy it is to miscalculate the amount of damage you're doing to the faceplate. The fact that they even managed to complete the kill is a triumph, in my opinion. So that trick is incredibly dumb. And we got the Morph Ball 20 minutes in. Might be a slap in the face to all those who get the Morph Ball 5 minutes in other Metroid games. Strange decision in my opinion from MS, but you know what? It works out. We skipped the DNF missile. DNF stands for did not finish, I believe. I think that's the official full name. If you get that missile, that's like the greatest missile of shame. So loses like 4 seconds, I think, if we get it. Carter's gonna enter the red teleporter coming soon. Another one of the many teleporters that we'll use. This one is arguably one of the most important as well, since it cuts out a lot of backtracking we would have to do much later. So.
Well, while we're teleporting, we got $5 from Will Legitimate saying, "Way to sequence break cancer, Carter. Good job. Keep it up. Let's go."
Speedrunning.
Oh man.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I'm glad to speedrun towards cure for cancer and all that stuff. So you know.
Everyone putting their effort into such a great cause for sure. All right. One thing that I failed to mention earlier, because it's kind of natural for us now, is the item tutorial skip. So there, Carter did some very specific movement, even though it might not look like it, to avoid sliding into certain tunnels. They would morph into them instead. And the reason why is because when we skipped Elaine, or the broken Emmy at the start of the game, that encounter has a flag set very much near it, which tells you, as a tutorial segment, that hidden items can be on the minimap, denoted by a white rectangle on the minimap. And if you slide into a tunnel, which is what you're traditionally forced to do, you would incur that tutorial segment. So in multiple courses throughout this run, they're going to avoid sliding into them and pre-morph into them instead. That way we can avoid that tutorial. And the item tutorial, I believe, is a 6 to 7 second time loss, just because. So it's another one of those moments of shame if you do manage to incur it. But in one specific segment, it's really hard to accidentally, or even on purpose, not skip it, or skip it. So we got the Varia suit. This is the only suit we're gonna get. The other traditional suit, the purple one, what's it called again? I forgot, honestly. We don't even go there anymore, so. Yeah, this is the last suit we're gonna get. which might concern some of you for the zones that we might be going to later, as traditionally we would be getting the gravity suit, in order to traverse those areas. But we won't be. This route skips way too much now, for better or worse. Do you think it's for better or worse, Carter?
I like that we skip a lot of the stuff. I just don't like how the end game is currently.
The last 10 minutes of the run are incredibly tense.
Interestingly, it's actually possible to skip the suit I just got as well with some new stuff that we have. But there's kind of like a discussion we're having as to whether or not you're allowed to set up a trick on another file first. We're not really... I don't think there's much of agreement on that yet, is there?
Not yet, not yet. And that trick is coming up in around 10 minutes or so, and it's going to take a long time to fully explain how powerful it is. It is one of the most powerful tricks that we've ever discovered, and it basically jump-started the sub-hour part of the fastest routes. In pretty much any other run, Carter would be going down to the left in order to enter Kraid's lair to fight Kraid and get a pickup known as the Diffusion Beam. We will not be going there because it's actually completely unnecessary. So yeah, once again, we're skipping a DPS upgrade that we totally won't need later because there's totally not going to be another boss that we're totally not going to struggle against. Nope. Nope. One of the best parts about the newer routing options is that we skip pretty much anything that we deem as unnecessary. So we're going to be keeping this loadout for a really long time. This offensive loadout, as it were. Another train going to Dyren. You know, whenever I speedrun this game, I was thinking of having some music on during this load screen, but I don't know.
I would do that.
You need
but...
the GoldenEye elevator music.
Yeah. I just don't want to hit the DMCA stuff, so I'm gonna I'm gonna avoid that.
If I was capable of making music, I think that would be a good time to just have something chill, something to pass the time.
Start singing something instead.
That's what I'm saying, right? All right, we're gonna be rehashing much of the movement from the first time we entered Dyren. We take a shortcut instead of going up all the way because we pushed that wide beam block when leaving Dyren the first time, so we don't have to go back that way. And this time, as opposed to going to the power room in order to turn on the power, we're going to be going down and to the right to enter this heated room. We would not be able to go here traditionally without the Varia suit. So this is pretty much the only reason why we get the Varia suit. I don't think there's another reason to even get it.
Nope. This is
if anyone wants to solve this, please be our guest. Yeah, I'm gonna give Carter some focus here.
I got the good spawn, so we're fine.
Oh, nice. So in this Emmy zone, on the magnet ledge that Carter just passed, there's a chance that the Emmy can be standing right there, and it is one of the most infuriating spawns in the game. Many runs have lost very good paces, cough cough, to them. So Carter got really fortunate skipping that spawn. And also in that Emmy zone, there was a tall wall that Carter did a single wall jump using a wall jump and a morph to go over. And unfortunately, that's the only time we see the single wall jump in the run. It's a really powerful trick just to climb long walls without any jump upgrades of any sort. We don't use it. We don't even get a jump upgrade. Spoilers.
I missed space jump already.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, if we could get it, even if it like lost a small amount of time, I would get it anyway. Space jump is so nice in this game. All right, so now we're at bombs, and after bombs, we're going to make a beeline for the next area of the game that contains one of the holy trinities of Unrestricted. And when we get all 3 pieces of the Triforce, we can begin breaking the game in half. So get excited for that, guys. Not much else to say here, like we said. We're just going to be booking it towards the next area. This guy right here is Z57. They're experimenting on him, but unfortunately we never get to see him again. In a route maybe 2 iterations ago, which I was surprised to learn that it was only in July, I think, is when it started being played. We actually fought the Z57 just because it was faster to go that way. But Now it is no longer faster. You no longer see this guy.
That route was really cool too.
Yeah, the route was so good. There's a lot of skill expression in that route, and a lot of places you normally wouldn't go to. You want to go there for fun?
We'll pass. Just do the old route.
Just do the old route. I mean, technically you could.
Yeah. I mean, I got the time for it, given that the estimate was designed for
that route. Yeah, but we're not gonna do that though.
Yeah.
Because going that route unfortunately disables a lot of the cooler stuff that we'd be doing.
And this route is, if you've never seen this before, this is absolutely mind-blowing what you can do with it.
Yeah, even if you were around to see the route not even 2 months ago, like a month ago, if you haven't seen the latest route development, you're in for a treat for sure. Except for the person running the route, because it's annoying. One of the hardest, I think it is the most difficult part of speedrunning this game that we've ever had. The end game for this particular variation. Unfortunately, in Burenia, we have to traverse this underwater segment going towards the next room because we don't have the grapple beam to break that grapple block that Carter's about to ignore. And we don't even come back here anymore, so we can't get our revenge on the grapple block either. We have a Adam room coming up. Traditionally, Adam would tell us, hey, stop, listen to me. No, not this time. Not ever again. Nice. That slide jump that Carter uses to get over that water pit without having to grab the ceiling magnet is deceivingly precise. And every time you fall, you lose a piece of your soul. Pretty sure all of us have fallen there at some point.
I've fallen there so many times.
Alright, coming up, we've got a infinite bomb jump, which is a staple in Metroid games, so we're going to use it in a very specific way. These yellow platforms that turn red when you touch them are called flash pads, or flash platforms. Wow, nice! First try backdoor flash. You don't have to go through any of the underwater segment to get here. With Grapple Beam, there is a shortcut you can take, which reduces the time loss of going down there to 8 seconds. But in this category, you don't have it. So you have to go through an extremely long underwater segment. That's like 40 to 50 seconds of time loss. So Carter getting backdoor flash in first try is insane. There's a specific rhythm to that trick. The IPJs, or infinite bomb jumps, I think they obey, was it 150 something?
Yeah, it's like 150 or like 148 or something like that.
Yeah, BPM. And any at all variance in your bomb jumps there will cause you to fall far too much, and then you will activate the pad again. So right there, Carter sets up a trick called the water bomb jump. By unmorphing out of a bomb jump in the water, Carter can keep the ability to bomb jump in the air. Well, not in the air, but, you know, above the water. And here, Carter's going to do another version of the pseudo beam, pseudo wave. A little bit farther to the right, or to the left.
Right?
Yeah. Left. Well, right
there we
now.
go, okay.
Yeah, there we go. So the way that pseudo works is that when Samus melees towards a wall or so, her foot will extend into the wall, and then when you morph, Samus's position is technically hugged against the wall, even though her arm cannon is to the left. So when you morph, you release the charge shot, and the shot starts from within the wall instead. I think colloquially, we just like to say that it starts from the extended foot, which is in the wall, and it allows us to pass one of the shots through the wall, out the ceiling, and then into that blob. If we didn't do this trick, we would have to go get diffusion, because this is one of the places where Mercury Steam really wanted you to get the fusion beam to progress. We ignored it.
Yeah, when this game first came out, like, that was pretty much thought to be impossible. Like, so many people tried to pseudo that blob and like, nope, can't do it. Someone got it after, like, I think sitting like 8 hours on that, got it once and wasn't able to get it again.
Yeah, the techniques for pseudo waves have developed tremendously over the game's entire lifespan. Even now, we're still discovering new ones, actually. So now we're going to go defeat the yellow CU and the yellow Emmy by proxy. Everyone's least favorite Emmy, because it has super speed, much like us, once we defeat it. So it's cathartic to just disable this guy and take his power. We're gonna, after this kill, we're going to obtain the second of the Holy Trinity of Unrestricted. The first being the Flash Shift, which Carter made look trivial, and the second being Speed Booster, which unlocks a whole world of movement techniques that we use pretty much immediately in order to speed through the rest of the game. If any of you ever struggled with defeating the yellow Emmy, here's a tutorial on how to make it really easy. Funnily enough, in most first-time runs, the yellow Emmy is the most troublesome, but as soon as you learn that it always comes out that way, the yellow Emmy is the easiest of the... I can't even remember how many Emmys there are, because we only visit 3. Is it 7?
I think there's 7, yeah.
Yeah. It's the easiest one for sure. Well, except for the broken Emmy, but that one's a gimme.
Who actually fights that thing still?
Glitchless runners. All bosses runners.
True.
Nah, come on. Nah, but at 80%, we don't even know who Elaine is anymore. Alright, so immediately we're going to be using the speed booster to break through these speed blocks, and also just to move all the way through this area without having to use any other movement. We're going to keep this speed booster by storing it, and then using a speed keep in order to shine spark up that slope. And now, instead of going up to yellow TP, or yellow teleporter, we're going to be cutting through this area instead in order to accomplish the yellow teleporter skip.
That was supposed to be a ball, but it's okay.
It's fine. Yeah, ball sparking in this game as well. Just speed booster in this game is just a joy to use. Oh, going for the short boost strat. All right, so I didn't think I'd have to explain it here actually, but that was really cleanly done. So what Carter did there is a technique called the short boost, and what that essentially allows you to do after Carter has a battle with that missile block is to speed boost in distances that normally would not be doable. And in order to accomplish that, we cancel a backwards flash shift before it hits either a wall or a ledge, if I remember correctly. And then by running forward after canceling it, the game really wants to put you at the farthest backflash distance. So when it tries to put you back there, you start running forward. So you can traverse that backwards distance by running forward, and it lets you travel that distance twice, which means that you can cut multiple blocks worth of speed. That way you can speed boost in much smaller distances. That one is one of the easiest places to mess up as well, since there's a door right there. And I think the setup for it is close to the door for the distance. You might accidentally go through the door as well. Carter making it look easy. I hope that's a trend going forward, because if you can make the endgame look easy, please do.
I'm gonna try my best. Speaking of, Endgame is about to officially start here, so this is, you want to explain a little bit about the trick that we're going to be doing here in a moment?
Absolutely. So we've accomplished the third piece of the Triforce here for Unrestricted, the grapple beam. So by combining the 3 pieces, the flash shift, the speed booster, and the grapple beam, we can use a trick called shine sinking, which allows us to pass through floors traditionally. But in recent development, we've been able to modify it such that we can do other things that you're going to see pretty soon. And the most notable is called the Axis Skew state, the Bamahe state, named after the first person who had surviving video of the setup. And what this allows us to do, once Carter sets this up, I'll give them a bit of time. Nice, I think. Yeah, what that allows you to do is keep a state of Samus. Right there, you might notice that she's spinning backwards in the air. So this state allows us to interrupt any turnaround state of any sort, whether you're turning on the ground or in the air, hopefully not in the air, in order to face whatever direction you interrupted that turnaround in. So let's say you turn around on the ground and then you jump. You're going to lock Samus's x-axis, or I think it's z-axis actually, towards that wherever you interrupted. We're going to use that right away here, doing a backwards underwater pseudo in order to break this blob, which we would need diffusion for, using a water bomb jump to get up to this ledge where we normally would need gravity suit, and here. So clearly something's not right. Carter is looking at the camera, and in other places, I think they're going to look at the background, and that allows us to completely ignore the fact that there's water here. Because, unlike the short boost, where we traverse some distance, with the Axis Skew, we traverse no distance. This is the most powerful trick we've ever discovered for Unrestricted. It's also a source of great pain, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, so actually, if you want to explain, I'm actually trying to keep this trick now.
Yep. So from this point on, Carter wants to keep the axis skew state all the way until a certain teleporter because we require it to progress. And in order to keep it, we have to be extremely mindful of our movement. So Carter here will always respin off of ledges before turning. Carter will try their very best not to turn around in a neutral air state, because any turnaround in the air while you're falling in neutral state will cause us to lose it, and we have to set it up again. Setting it up again means that we need to shine sync, which means we need space to do a speed booster, and we also need space to get, you know, the shine sync off. So it's an incredible time loss if you manage to lose it, but that's why we try our best just not to. The problem is with this state, we have to be so mindful of our movement that it might even conflict with muscle memory that has to do with how we optimally move around certain areas. So if anyone wants to solve that too, please. I want to move without being scared. Just like here. Instead of just turning around and shooting the blob, instead of turning around immediately and jumping towards the red teleporter, Carter has to unmorph and make sure that they're going to be in a spin jump state as opposed to a normal jump state. You made that look really easy, by the way.
Yeah, outside of losing the speed booster, that went really good.
We're going to be using the red TP here to get to the orange teleporter. And that's the part where we really need the skew.
Yeah, I'm actually going to double check and make sure I've got it before I go into the yellow teleportal.
I think you still have it, I think, but
pretty
never
sure.
hurts to check.
Yeah, I'm just going to double check just because, you know, marathon.
Pray.
Okay,
Nice.
I do have it.
Great. So we still have the skew. Unlike other axis skews that might have been in other routes, like months ago or even recently, this axis skew can be brought anywhere into the run, so long as you stay in that skew state. And in this upcoming area in Gavarin, past Orange Teleporter, we really want it, because if we happen to lose it by some manner of accident, we're gonna have to come back to Cataris to get it again. So I'm actually gonna let Carter move through this area without any interruption, as it genuinely is that important.
Yeah, if like Sat was saying, like, if I lose the state here, I have to go all the way back up to this teleportal, go back through this load sequence again, get the skew, and then go back through the teleporter again, which is another load. So it's a really big deal to not lose it.
Yep. It is run ending if you ever manage to lose it here. So good luck. Okay, we're at the last step. It's not over. Now it's over. Really nice.
Well,
a lot of the areas there in
still.
the tunnels, you can accidentally fall and turn around because we need to be shooting certain blocks as well. Here's one last shine sync for the road. Yeah, and a bonus of the fact that if you miss a shine sync, you can just skew, get the speed again. Otherwise, we'd have to leave to the left room. Nice. And then build the speed again. Here we have cross bump skip. You might notice that we sunk into Golzuna's arena and just ignored it. We have to do that shine sync, otherwise the boss won't spawn. Well, the boss won't spawn anyway because we didn't release the X parasites, and that's the trigger. Oh, almost. Try again.
I'm sad. I wanted that so badly.
And if we don't shine sync into the arena, the door won't open anymore to leave. Nice.
I lost.
And this is called cross bump skip. That's fine.
Yeah, I just get it again.
Nice. You were worried about that in practice, by the way.
I was, yeah.
And I told you don't have to worry about it. So that movement there to cross the crumble blocks that we would need cross bomb for is something different. There are days where you're always good at it, and there are days where you're just not. But Carter made that look trivial, so congrats one more time.
Yeah, in practice I missed that for like 10 minutes.
Yep. And now we're entering the dreaded endgame. So just to explain what's going on, Carter's going to have to get the axis skew state again because they lost it on the cross bomb puzzle, or the cross bomb skip, which is completely understandable. And once they get it again, you might notice that they're just going to stand there and turn around a lot. So just to explain what's going on, when you turn around in this game, for a very small degree, Samus rotates on her X rotation. And what we want to do is rotate her a certain amount. Oh, do you have it? Yeah. So what we're gonna do is turn around a great deal, rotate her to a specific point, and then try to get a perfect axis skew, which is a frame perfect jump to have her face perfectly forward or perfectly backward. Ah, yeah, Carter misses it there. Unfortunately, the backup for missing the perfect skew is to just turn around again, because every time you have to break your axis skew, you morph and it resets her rotation. Nice, I think, yeah. So with that, we can speed boost in place and move very, very, very tiny amounts. And for some reason, that allows us to go through collision. So using that, we're able to skip this wall or door, and this is called wall clipping. And I'm just gonna wait here because this is tense. Nice. So by getting partly into the door, storing, breaking the skew by meleeing backward, and then holding grapple and forward to go through the door, you can send your grapple shot through and pass out of bounds without dying. Something I neglected to explain is that if you ever enter out of bounds in this game, you will die. But when you have the grapple beam out, you're immune to out of bounds death. So we really need to use it on certain wall clips here. You're making this look really easy, by the way.
Yeah, so far the clips have been really good.
Yeah, that is not easy. This is... Carter, you trivialized half of why we hate this endgame. Like, what is going on?
Magic.
So on this door in particular, Carter's going to jump through it, just because there's nothing on the other end. Otherwise, we'd have to use the store grapple method. And now we have another wall clip. If your hands got tired by watching Carter do it, imagine the fact that Carter has to do all these turnarounds. So in this version, in this wall clip 3, there's going to be a different wall clip setup we use to get into the next area. I'm jealous. I'm actually jealous. This is... Wow. You're just first trying everything. You're going to first try the rest of Escape too?
I hope so.
You hope so.
This is
So
we're actually coming up to the part that I'm probably most scared of right now in the run.
Yeah, I'll explain real quick and just let you work on it. So with this wall clip in particular, there are robots coming out of the wall, and because we want to store so we can shine spark through the wall into the next area, these robots can be a massive issue. Carter's going to deal with it by leaving the middle robot alive if they can. That way it's not going to be in the way when they eventually jump up and spark through the wall. And on the other side of the wall is the power bomb warrior, like a guardian for the power bomb. And we're going to give Carter as much time as they need to focus on the fight. It's an incredibly difficult fight to do quickly, because with this energy level, any hit from phase 2 is death. So best of luck.
Here we go.
Notice here that Carter only has the wide beam. This is the only real boss fight we fight, and it's a shame we don't have our updated arsenal for it. Nice. This is where if Carter takes a single hit,
Okay.
nice! We're through. That fight, especially on phase 2, if you take any hit at all, you're dead. So, man, Carter, you're making this look way too easy.
I'm actually on PB pace.
Yeah. So oh man, Carter making everything look easy. Today is your day.
Well, we still have a couple
You still
more.
have a little bit more.
Yeah, arguably the worst part of the new route is coming up here shortly.
Just to give Carter time to focus, I'm going to very briefly explain what's going up next. In order to skip the Raven Beak fight, which is traditionally the final boss of the game, we're going to do a Shine Sync in order to go down and towards the Raven Beak X, which is the technically like last part of the Raven Beak fight. And after that Shine Sync, we're going to be doing a certain movement into a load zone And the reason why we have to do a very specific movement is because right behind the load zone is a death zone. So we need to enter the load zone without accidentally going into the death zone. And I would explain it there, but Carter needs this focus right now. So best of luck once again.
Thank you. Hopefully we get this. This part's the scary part.
That's fine.
Okay, nice.
Nice! Okay, one more. The load zone. Okay. Alright, so there's a lot of things there that don't look too scary, but trust me, Carter avoided death like twice just now. Oh man.
We still
Alright,
got
now
one
we
more
have the
death to avoid.
RBX fight. Okay, so we don't have the Metroid suit for Ravenbeak X, so we have to use regular beams, and there is a chance that RBX just ignores us and eats us anyway. So, this is it.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, just because Carter's on PV pace, we're gonna just go through escape, and at the very end, there's a hyper beam door that we need hyper beam for. But instead of using the hyper beam, we're going to wall clip through it. It's wall clip 4, the last one in the game. So I'm just gonna let Carter run. This is incredible. Everyone in chat, please give Carter your support. Carter's gonna do one more Shine Sink here to cut through needing an extra power bomb for this area. And after that, just gotta pray. Nice. We combined that with getting an Axe Skew as well. So after this point, we're just hoping that we can get the wall clip in a reasonable amount of time. This is where the wall clip starts. Best of luck, Carter.
Come on, first try, please.
We're on pace for sub 52.
Nope.
It's alright, you got 2 more. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm so sorry. It's not over. We still have to clip through the wall, but... Come on. I'm not even a commentator anymore. I'm just a spectator like you. Carter putting on a show with the most hated part of anything in the speedrun. We're really close.
We should be okay.
Yeah, we should be fine. Like
Just
20
gonna wait a
seconds
little
to spare.
longer.
Yep.
And it should be safe now.
Nice! With that, Carter has finished the most difficult part of this game. 8 minutes of straight annoying tricks, run-ending segments. They've completed it all. First try, that's a PB, isn't it?
Yep. 5209's PB for me.
Everyone, please give Carter a well-deserved round of applause for making this endgame look so easy. How you feeling?
Pretty hyped. I honestly didn't think I was gonna PB in a marathon, but especially with this route, because like there's so many things that can go wrong in the end game. Jeez.
I was here. I can't believe I was here for this. And with that, Metroid Dread is completed in under an hour. Under 55 minutes, under 53 minutes. Oh man. Shake
What
it
an
off.
incredible run.
We're gonna be talking about this for a while. This is this route existing is not marathon safe.
No, it is very. This is. I was debating whether or not I should just do the storm skip route, but I decided. You know, I've been finishing enough runs. I feel confident enough that I can pull this off in a marathon. Let's just give it a shot, and well, it worked out. So we have a lot of extra time because of the estimate being based on the old route. So I've never done boss rush before, but I can fill some time with boss rush.
Yeah, we can actually see the guys that we skipped across the entire run if we're allowed. Anyway,
That's up
should be
to
fun.
Strizer, I guess.
Yeah, you guys actually, you have to go ahead. Let's do the boss rush.
All right.
Let's see it.
Right.
While you guys are doing that, we actually got $5 from O'Leary saying !Fanto. And an anonymous gave us $50. Let's go. And they said gas, gas, gas. Gas, gas, gas.
Oh no.
But yes. Amazing run, by the way.
Oh man.